to know more about the market scenario. Welcome back viewers. Let's talk to our equity expert Mohan to know more about the equity market scenario. So welcome Mohan.
Thank you, Antika.
So Mohan, Nifty gained momentum on the upside after a quiet start in the opening bell, inching towards 5950 mark post announcement of inflation data.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, fine. Today, even yesterday, saw short recovery in the even some bit of buying, and today also momentum goes upside, as you said. Even we are expecting fine of 60 levels on Nifty for the day, and inflation data as expected is even in the line which is we are expecting on this. Probably even market took a positive movement since it is in momentum is still upside is intact till 5990 is achieved. Then we can see in Nifty where we can trend reversal may take on the downside, but currently still upside momentum is there, and even we are seeing good buying happening in the most of all the sector, like especially Reliance is buying is happening, and even ONGC, LT are buying, heavyweights are buying still there, and even Crane India has been giving good momentum upside. So most of all stocks which is heavyweights like DLF and HDL, we are seeing buying happening in this. So we will still market may upside on the further days and for the day also.
Okay, Mohan.
Yeah.
So how the mid cap performing after the last week's sell-off?
Yeah, last week we saw huge sell-off because of the panic news which is in the market, and even we saw some bit of buying happening, especially like Dish TV or even Chambal Fertilizer, RCF and the fertilizer stocks. So even mid caps have bounced back, even say ABG Shipyard, Bharti Shipyard, so a bit of bounce back from the lows which we saw last week. So momentum is in upside, and even mid cap also performs well in further days. I expecting on this. Yeah.
Alright, thank you Mohan.
Thank you.
Stay back where we still have the market sessions coming up with Joy and Navneet. Welcome back viewers. Let's talk to our commodity expert Navneet to know more about the market scenarios. So welcome Navneet.
Thank you, Anita.
So Navneet, gold has witnessed some buying interest coming in during yesterday. How does the fundamentals look?
Gold demand from Asia is expected to increase as investors from China and Korea are buying more of the physical commodity to hedge against geopolitical tensions in the region. Currency weakness is also supporting bullion up move. Gold mini futures trading in Korean exchange is also expected to pick up in the coming months. Gold surged to a record last week on investors concerned that currencies are set to extend declines while inflation in some countries may accelerate further. Immediate delivery gold has surged 27% this year, touching an all-time high level of $1,431.25 an ounce on December 7th and trading currently at $1,397.35 today. The metal may reach $1,690 an ounce in 12 months, Goldman Sachs said in their reports yesterday. So we are expecting the uptrend to continue further. Korean investments in offshore gold futures almost doubled to 3 lakh contracts this year from 2008, proving there is a decent investment demand for the commodity coming in from the Asian country. China's imports jumped to 209 metric tons in the first 10 months of this year from 45 tons in all of 2009, the Shanghai Gold Exchange said earlier this month. The country is the world's largest gold producer and second biggest user. So we are seeing some demand from the Asian countries picking up in case of bullions.
Alright. So how is the oil market shaping up ahead of inventory release tomorrow?
Crude oil corrected on speculation that a spell of frigid weather in the US will be less severe than forecast, reducing fuel demand. Heating oil dropped as much as 0.4% today after reaching a two-day high as Florida declared a state of emergency amid severe cold that could damage crops and as a snowstorm battered the Midwest area of US. An EIA report tomorrow is expected to show that inventories rose for the fourth week, so we are expecting some pressure to come in during that release time. The January contract fell as much as 48 cents or 0.5% to $88.13 a barrel in electronic trading session on the New York Mercantile Exchange. Futures rose 0.9% to $88.61 a barrel yesterday, the highest low since December 7th, after China said its refineries ran at record rates last month, bolstering optimism that the world's biggest energy user will increase its oil demand. Oil inventories are expected to fall by 2.6 million barrels in the 7 days to December 10th. Supplies of distillate fuel, a category that is include heating oil and diesel, probably slipped 1 million barrels to 160.2 million. So market will be keenly watching the Wednesday's inventory data list for further cues.
Alright. So how is base metal performing in the Asian trading session, Navneet?
Copper witnessed some correction coming in as a metal climbed to all-time high levels, prompted many investors to lock in some profits. Zinc, tin, aluminum and nickel also advanced during the Asian trading session. Copper contract reached a record of $9,248 a ton yesterday after China refrained from raising interest rate, boosting the demand outlook in the biggest user of the metals. Base metals continued with its bull run after China didn't raise borrowing costs even as inflation jumped by the fastest pace in more than 2 years. Aluminum in London rose by 0.2%, zinc gained 1% and tin climbed 0.4%, nickel climbed 0.2% while lead was trading unchanged. So we have seen some good buying interest coming into the Asian trading session.
Alright, so thank you, Navneet.
You're welcome.
Stay back here, we still have the currency section coming up with Joy. Welcome back, viewers. Let's talk to our currency expert Joy to know more about the currency market scenario. So welcome, Joy.
Thanks, Sangeeta.
So Joy, how's dollar trading? What are the latest news awaiting in the market?
Well, the dollar was near a one-week low against the yen on possible that the yield on US assets will swing as Federal Reserve policy makers prepare to discuss interest rates and bond purchase. The greenback held yesterday's lows against the euro on speculation that the Fed will signal today is open to increasing debt purchases beyond the 600 billion already announced. The dollar, in currency terms, the dollar fetched 83.47 yen as of 2:28 p.m. in Tokyo from 83.39 yen in New York yesterday. The US currency was little changed at 1.3394 against the euro after reaching 1.3434 yesterday. That's a weaken since December 6.
Okay, so how's dollar index trading?
Well, the dollar index, which tracks the greenback against the currencies of 6 major US trading partners, was at 79.327 today after declining 1% yesterday. So it is still in a falling market.
So what about euro? How is it trading today?
Well, the euro hovered near its high for December against a broadly weaker dollar on Tuesday, with traders sitting solid buying from accounts including Asian central banks that overwhelmed hedge funding selling. The sudden jump triggered a wave of stop-loss buying and forced some traders to lighten their dollar-long positions ahead of the Federal Reserve policy meeting later in the day. The euro was at 1.3395 euro, little change on the day of Monday's high of 1.3434. The traders said that they're expecting the euro to struggle above 1.3400 and resistance ahead of parity to catch the Aussie's dollar.
Okay, so how is Australian currency trading today?
Well, the Australian dollar put on nearly 1.5 cents on Monday to come close to testing parity. It was last at $0.9959, nearing a 1-month high of 0.9983 that's hit on Monday. Take it account the New Zealand dollar. It was near a 10-year low against the Australian currency after a report showed retail sales in the smaller nation slid by the most since 1997. Other currencies like Taiwan dollar climbed to a 13-year high as strengthening trade with China helped attract funds to the island assets.
Okay, so thank you, Joy.
Thanks, Sangeeta.
Stay back where we still have the post-market session coming up with our market experts.